What's happening, man? This your boy OG Freaky the Pimp, and this is the Culture Connection. It's a live internet roundtable where we can sit back and express our views and opinions about the events that go on in our community. Everything that affects our daily lives will be discussed on this show. My goal is to connect everything from our culture back to our communities. All opinions will be respected, none will be neglected. Now join me as we begin to connect. Church.
Hey man, this is OG Freaky the Pimp going live and direct with it. Straight up No Chasers event with Jeffrey Holland this weekend. Yeah, if you can't make it, tune in here. If you can't come up, you gotta go for it. I'm trying to be a little quiet, but let's start the show.
So, no further ado, we came far, but we'll start over here.
I'm part supervisor of District 1 per. Good morning. My name is Derek Scott. For y'all youth, I would like to consider myself a 38-year-old young man. I'm a game warden for the state of Mississippi. I'm out of Holmes County. But the most meaningful thing I have done in my life, I actually have my PhD. Y'all might not know what that means right now, but my dissertation topic was the meaning of mentoring to pre-adolescent African American males. So at this stage in your life, you are pre-adolescent African American males. So what that means is having a positive mentor in your life right now will have a significant impact on your life in adolescence. So y'all are really laying a foundation right now on having a positive mentoring relationship with pre-adolescent African American males.
Thank you. My name is Kendall Lamar Buckner, Councilman of Ward 1. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This is an important event. We got to decide our future, and that starts today. You guys are the future for all of us, and we got to make sure you guys heading in the right direction. A lot of us didn't grow up with mentors. I was a very smart student in school, but the streets grabbed me. They did. Honor roll student, advanced classes, but with the wrong decisions, one wrong decision would change the trajectory of your life. And sometimes you can get back on track and sometimes you can't. So it's very important at the age you guys are at now, please pay attention, young man, because I'm telling you the truth. You got to make good decisions. It could be like, it's life or death. It's that serious. A lot of times we don't think of it like that because we get young and you think you got time, but I promise you, you don't know how much time you got. Right. So now is the time, like Mr. Hullum said, you ain't babies. You ain't babies. Ain't none of y'all babies no more. You're going to be responsible for your actions that you make, whether good or bad. Preferably good. Now, ain't nobody perfect, and we gonna make some choices that we, oh Lord, get me out of this one here. You don't pray your way out of some of them. For real. Lord, I promise you, give me through this one here. You ain't gotta worry about that one no more. But there's gonna be another one that's gonna come. It's all about making the right decisions right now in your life, young man.
I'm Kent Jones, Harrison County Board of Supervisors. And basically, I'm an elected official. So is Mr. Buckner, so is Mr. Hart. So we may not discuss voting today, but it's very, very important that you understand the process and that you catch it early and you get involved and you vote. Because your vote matters. It's going to matter going forward because you can't really complain. You really don't have a voice if you don't go and exercise your right to vote. So it's very, very important. Same with Mr. Holden, he's the elected official as well. You have to get yourself in a position to vote and understand the process. This is a great age to understand it. I think they should teach it in school in terms of your civic duties. And voting is one of those duties. And we dive a little bit deeper a little bit later, but I just wanted to can't emphasize enough how very, very important it is to voice your opinion. The power of the pen. You hear that term over and over as you get older. But sitting here after being here, and I think we got a good program lined up. Thanks.
Morning, I'm Jason Ducray. I am the Public Information Officer for the Gulfport Police Department. I'm here because I care about each and every one of you in here. And it is our responsibility as mentors to give you guys the tools to go forward and become successful. So thank you for allowing me to be here, and thank you for being here.
All right, my energy is a little weird because I'm a little bit more animated. My name is Tabari Daniels, multimedia entrepreneur, real estate investor as well. I don't know what to say to y'all, but I think it's a good thing because I'm gonna speak from my heart. I don't have anything prepared. I don't have any choreography. I'm just very happy to be here. Good to see y'all, and I think it's important. One of the things that I really want you to understand is we are here because we need you. We need you. When he says it's about life or death, it's really about life or death. I know several of these gentlemen up here went to school with Kendall. He talked about the streets. Yeah, I knew him in the streets. I got these pictures. I can show y'all pictures. But now he's a councilman. How you go from the streets to a councilman? I played football with Mr. Holland, Representative Holland. We were on the same football team. Mr. Jones, Supervisor Jones, he's at a nightclub. I was DJing at his nightclub. So all these people that you see up here in the next 10, 20, 15 years, probably gonna be one of y'all. And y'all gonna be up here talking to people who are your age because it's that serious. It's that cycle. We need y'all to learn what we know so that y'all have people to work with. Just like I can work with these gentlemen here, I can call these gentlemen up. You need to be able to call a person next to you like, hey man, I need some help with this loan downtown. Hey man, they messed up the street on my street. I need to do something. That's why we're here. The number one thing I want y'all to really take from this today, I want y'all to be empowered. Say empowered. Wait a minute. If you can't say it, you can't be it. Empowered. Yes. I want you to feel strong today. I want you to walk away feeling strong. I want you to walk away like this is the new gang right here, but we moving forward. I want you to be empowered. Thank you.
We just had introduction of all the panelists on that. So,
And before we do and get down to the brass tacks, I want you all to understand who else in the room. We got a lot of mentors in the room, a lot of community organizers and leaders in the room. I'm gonna start with this young man over here.
Abram Taylor from Gulfport, Mississippi, co-founder for Gulf Coast Outreach Leadership. A few of my guys, got a few more that be trickling in. I would like to say a huge shout out to the hosts for having this event because this is something that's very needed. And a shout out to the young men that are here because they could have not been here. So, you know, that's a step forward already as it relates to being successful, is being able to wake up out of bed and come to things like this when you could have just not been here. So shout out to y'all, your parents for being here, and shout out to the hosts. Thank y'all for having us.
Oh, my name is Patrick White. I'm from the community of Turkey Creek. I guess you can call me like a community activist. I care about young men and I want to be a part of y'all life. I got my grandson right here, so I'm really excited about him. Gulfport High baseball player, basketball player, straight A student. So I'm so excited. And his two best friends, Bryce and Callahan. I love them too. So and my young man right there, I love him too. That's the family. So I got quite a few of them here to inspire and to hope they do great things.
Wow, put me on the spot. Good morning. My name is Jeff O'Leary Jr. You don't want to see me. I'm a school attendance officer for Biloxi School District. I come and get you when you don't come to school. I'm OG. I've been in education 57 years. Okay, I've been blessed. And I'm gonna say this to you. When the Lord made you, he made you for a purpose. And that purpose was to use the skill that he gave you to move yourself to another level. If you don't use it and you don't understand it, you lose it. I'm a former middle school and high school principal. In my lifetime, and I'm from Chicago, and then I spent 45 years in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm gonna be short. In my lifetime, young man, I buried over 40 kids. Unreal. Should never happen. Never. But I want to commend you guys for being here this morning because it says a lot. It says to me that you really want to understand what you need to do to make the right choice in your life. And also, I want to say thanks to your parents because you got to have supportive parents who understand the purpose of you coming to this meeting. So I want to commend you as well as your parents, and I want to commend all the young men that are on the panel. Because let me say this to you. If you can walk out of here with one more thing than you walked in with, it's worth it. But don't let me knock on your door. And I don't think I'm gonna see any of you guys anyway. Don't let me knock on your door or come to your house or call your parents and find out why you're not coming to school. Education is the most important thing that you guys will ever make the right choice in your lifetime. Look at these guys up here. I love it. So I'm gonna say thank you. And I'm gonna say to you, when we had the next meeting, bring a friend, bring a buddy. And I'm gonna say this to you, I'm a former game member out of Chicago, so you can tell me that I don't understand. When I say I'm a OG, trust me, I understand. Okay? But it's about making choices. Thank you, Mr. Hall. Appreciate it.
Good morning. My name is Lester Dempsey. I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher 28 years. I love what I do. I'm a teach engineering robotics. And one of the things that we do in my class, the first thing I tell all my students, reality can come true, right? You can dream it, reality can come true. And today, you in a reality world, it can come true. But what does it take to make it come true? Motivation.
All right, we're gonna get into it and I'm gonna come to this side. So one of the most important things that we're gonna start off with, I'll let y'all hear some of the things. We don't give y'all everything at one time. We're gonna break it up in small dishes like a tapah. But the person I'm gonna bring up right now, she's gonna start us off. Because we get nowhere by being singular. We gotta be with people. We gotta be unity. We gotta be together. We gotta bring people with us. So one of the most important things for you all that y'all want to see, I'm looking at y'all hair, I'm looking at y'all shoes, I'm looking at the way y'all talk. We're going to bring a woman up who talks about money moves. She talks about money moves on straight up. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have money, you don't have nothing. If you don't have resources, you have nothing. But your attitude affects your aptitude. And your aptitude affects your credit score. Your credit score affects your money. And if you don't have no money, what do you have? You see what I'm saying? So that's how this thing is. We finna bring this thing up. And then also, I'm bringing, in this next session, I'm bringing another female entrepreneur up to make sure we dropping these jewels on you. This is an all males forum, like we say, and we're gonna get down to it. The first part we're gonna bring up, because she gotta go, we're gonna bring up the banker with the big hat, one of the most successful bankers on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. She reached down, she pulled everybody up, she helped everybody with the limits of her occupation. But also, when you see this young lady, don't just look at her credentials, look how she's dressed. She's dressed because she's comfortable. She's comfortable where you come from. You can't tell her nothing to a can of oil. You can't slide to her. You can't say nothing. You can't do none of that. But she's going to tell you the fifth and myth that anybody want to be $100,000 person. What it takes to be $100,000 person. What y'all young men running around that who's gold on? And how it's gonna break you out. Because some people are already in business before they even start in their own life. So, Ms. Heather Sanders, on the bank.
Good morning, everybody. First off, thank you for allowing me to speak to you all. I am Heather Sanders, First Vice President, Community Lending Advisory Manager with Cadence Bank. I've been there coming up on 10 years, which is surprising in and of itself, because I come from a background of community service and nonprofit professional life. But in my role, I will say that I told you my title, but I am a financial equity advocate. I want for our community to be represented. So what I do at the bank lends directly to that. But I need to say that every topic that you will talk about following this, money has something to do with it. Either it's going to drive the discussion or it accounts for it. Mental health. When you're in a bad place financially, that can be the factor that tips you right on over the edge into a mental health crisis. So we're going to do a little talk. We're going to be interactive. I gave out some index cards. If you're uncomfortable with asking a question out loud, please write it down on one of those index cards and pass it to someone so I can answer it. It's difficult to talk about money. It's an uncomfortable topic, and finance is unsexy. I literally only met like 2 people ever that said, I want to go into finance when I graduate. But the fewer people that look like us in a bank setting creates the same cycle where we feel uncomfortable walking into a bank to discuss our finances. And so while I'm no longer in a branch setting, I'm still in the background advocating for our community and for our people. And so just a little bit about me personally. You've heard from all these guys. Everyone has a backstory. Not everyone looks like where they came from. So don't let the suit, the button up, you know, the creased shirts fool you. We all have a backstory, kind of our billing story. How did we get here? So I have a son, he'll be 20 in just a few days, hard to believe. And so I've seen some of the financial decisions that he makes. I don't always agree with them. I share the path. He sees me go to work every day. I'm like, look, I see a lot in my work. I want you to not make some of the mistakes that I made, and I want you to not make some of the mistakes that I see. So, you know, we have more youth in the room, but, you know, adults, I'm talking to you too. Do you know where your money goes? You may not have a job, but you're getting money from somewhere. Do you know where your money goes? Yes, no, not really. No. You know where your money goes? Where do y'all spend your money? I know the number one answer. Food. Food. I look at my son's account, Subway, McDonald's, Wars, Buffalo Wild Wings. If you don't know where your money is going, you'll never understand how to save it. So having a spending plan is extremely important. I put some papers in those bags that you receive at registration. So make sure you're kind of utilizing that. It breaks down on a monthly scale. If you're getting paid monthly or you're receiving funds, and you know you want to buy a new pair of Jordans, how long is it going to take you to save for that? If you keep on picking away at it to spend it at Taco Bell, Dairy Queen, Smoothie Cake. All of these things are real. These are things that I see in my son's spending habits. But you're all moving into an age where either you are or about to start driving. It is not cheap to have a vehicle. You don't just put gas in it and go. Your tires wear and tear. You need an oil change, you need a brake job, you need to change the air filter. It is not what you think it is. $20 of gas sounds fantastic. But if you don't maintain your car, you have nothing to put gas in. So think about your individual financial goals. I also put a couple flyers in your bag. If you do not have an account with a bank, how many of y'all got cash out? What? What? Oh, I know y'all got Cash App. That's a fantastic service. But if something goes wrong with the Cash App, what do you do? What if they don't answer? You can't walk in Cash App and tell them that something happened with your account. You gotta send them a message and hope that they resolve it in your favor. If you have a bank that you can walk into, you can hold someone accountable for answers. Hey, I'm missing $30 out of my account. I didn't spend it. I don't know where it is. A bank can protect you. I have Cash App. I use Cash App. Fast, easy, great way to get payment back or for somebody to send me money that has a different bank. But I also have a banking relationship. I work for Cadence Bank. Heather, financial advocate, have an account somewhere, anywhere, a credit union. As you look to possibly buy your first car in the next 10 years, you know, your first car may not be the car that you finance it. Might be a couple $1,000. You hope you pray every time you turn the key. But as you buy a car, understand credit unions are going to give you a better rate on the car. Again, Heather Sanders, financial advocate. I'm not telling you anything because it's in the best interest of Cadence Bank. I'm telling you because it's in the best interest of you all. These are facts. I will tell you no lie. I will tell you all day long, hey, what's the interest rate at Cadence Bank for a car? Don't even ask Go Keesler. That's how you know that you can trust what I am telling you this morning. Save for what you want, plan for what you want. Biggest thing, credit. It is easily messed up. It is hard to come back from. It is a long-term relationship. And it's not like you can turn that paper in on time and you got an F and you were able to make it up with extra credit. It's gonna take a long time to rehab credit. If you don't have the cash, check in your savings, you gotta have the credit. You gotta be able to walk in and ask for the money that you want. And so that's why it's important to have a relationship. You can't go to Cash App and say, hey, I need $500 more than what you're offering for this instant loan on Cash App. With a bank, you can walk in. And if they know that you come in every other Friday, you cash a $700 check, great customer, never been overdrawn, there's a good possibility you might get their money. And if not, they're going to tell you what you need to do next time to be able to get it. So if you don't have the cash, you at least have to have a good word on credit to be able to do that. So all of these things that we're going to discuss today come back to money. Where you spend your money, how you spend your money, and how you're going to use it for economic, social justice, civic engagement. I also want to give a plug for my gentleman back here at One Voice. One Voice gave me something this year. I participated in their leadership program. So please, if you haven't had an opportunity, stop by their table, get the information about the organization and what they do, civic engagement, policy advocacy, voter registration, expungement. So want to give them a quick plug as well. But all of these things revolve around money. You can't run a campaign without money. And so if you have any thoughts about what you want your future to look like, it is going to take money to fund it. If it's not your money, it's someone else's money. Who's the first people that you ask when you're running a campaign for sponsorships? Relations. Business community. If you don't have a relationship, you're not going to get a check. So I've never met you before. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you stand for. I cannot co-sign a check for you. What's the next thing? Family and friends. If you don't have any money to help your friend run a successful campaign to be elected and represent your best interests, what are we doing? We are very much in critical times. Money talks, BS walks. Truly. We have to have money, and it can't be magic money. Magic money is, you might as well lay that on the body. You can't come to the bank with $20,000. We're going to ask questions. We're going to ask questions. Have a relationship with a bank and a bank. I have business cards, I did not set them out, purposely, I'm gonna leave them after that. For those of you with credit questions, we do offer at Cadence Bank, it is called Hope Inside Cadence. It is free credit and money management counseling and assistance. So if you are looking to have your credit, that is a fantastic place to start. You do not have to be a Cadence Bank customer or member to participate. Fantastic financial service. It will give you a little bit of a health checkup. I carry a book with me. Book right on top. I write everything down in this book. This is my financial Bible. This is my financial Bible. If anybody gets this, they have my life. Don't have words or anything, but I write down everything that I'm going, planning. This is it. It is the big time version of what I put in your bags. No one in this room is too old, too educated to use some kind of system. Use a system. What's the saying? If you don't plan to fail, this is your financial plan. If you like technology, I'm old school. I like to write my stuff out. I have some friends that use spreadsheets. It does all kinds of fancy things. It shoots rockets when they pay something off. But make sure you're paying yourself first. That's how you say. If you owe somebody or you're paying off a loan, when you pay it off, continue to pay it yourself. So when I pay a car off, I keep paying the car note to myself. Because 9 times out of 10, as soon as you pay a car off, what's going to happen, Tori? It's not for another one. As soon as you pay it off, there is no reprieve. There is no reprieve. The average household does not have $500 in emergency savings. That is scary. $500, that's a blown out tire and it's over. And it can take you months to recover from one incident. And if it does not feel like if they ain't one thing, it's send them another. Because as soon as the tire blows out, there's extra expense at school. There's an extra thing you have to do. There's an extra something. Something that you buy on a regular basis is now more expensive. What am I going to do if I do not have those songs? So thinking kind of critically, creatively, if you have a one-time expense, what are some things that you can do to make a little quickly? Side hustle. I have a side hustle. That's why I'm leaving. What else? Sell something. Sell something. Hey, you know what? Somebody wants those Jordan ones. The ones with no creases. They look real crispy. Can't get them in the stores. Stock X, $500. Sell something if you have a one-time expense that you really, really want. There are ways for us to plug that gap. One-time expense, sell something. If it's going to be something that reoccurs occasionally, sell something once a quarter. If it's a long-term thing, like, hey, rent went up. Can't do anything about that. Get a second job. It is really okay. At some point, we've all been, everyone up here probably has multiple streams of income, one way or another. I work at the bank, that's my main source of income. But I also have rental property. It is a headache, but I have rental property. It pays for itself and it pays part of the mortgage on the house that I live in. Easy. I'm making money when I sleep. That's how you move with intention. I did not go into it with a lot of money. I actually bought my first property. It was a townhouse. I lived in it for a couple of years before I turned into an investment property. My first house was not my dream house. Everybody thinks, oh, my house is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be 5,000 square feet. It was 1,100 square feet. And we lived in that until we were tripping over each other. Because I knew my bigger goal. Now that my son graduated college, the reality is you don't get a $75,000 job out of college. That OSHA book that school, what's the median income for an engineer? Your first job is not gonna probably pay you 75 grand to be quite honest. You're gonna need a little hand up. You might need to have a roommate. My son can come home and pay about $500 a mortgage and live independently. And that's just the reality. Love him, but he love you from afar. But that provides me the opportunity to do those things. And so a lot of times there are things that we learn along our path that are sometimes a bit too late for us to institute. But I want to be able to impart some of those things to you to be thinking about what your goals are. So I passed out some index cards. If there's anybody who has a question, just kind of pass it to the aisle. I'm gonna make sure that I touch those. If you don't, that's okay too. Again, I have business cards. You can email me, text me with questions that you have. I'm also going to leave a resource for Hope Inside Cadence Bank. Please utilize this. The bank spends a lot of money to have that resource here locally. They have an office in the downtown Gulfport branch, and they are available for meetings such as this. Anyone have a question they want to ask out loud? Or slide through. If not, if all hearts and souls are clear and satisfied.
Thank you. So
We have the first guest speaker, talking about the
we
credit.
still have another 3 minutes on that topic, so at this time,
Doing this on my phone.
Real
so,
fast.
trying to better.
anyone to do on a panel to talk about money moves, boss, and
What
other.
about doing?
We're getting ready to go into our next phase with the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Reverend Dr. Oswego Harper. He did introduce himself first.
Well, good morning, everybody. Again, Doctor, he throws out titles, I'm not really colorful. Oswego Harper, most everybody in the city knows me as him. I'm up here with some of my classmates, where I was in class in 1993. I saw Pat Lewis walking into Shaheed, some of my brothers that I grew up with, but born and raised right here in the city of Gulfport. Went to Central Elementary, went to Central Junior High, went to Gulfport High. After graduating from Gulfport High in 93, went to Mid Plains Community College in North Platte, Nebraska. Chasing the hoop dream, played ball there. And after there, signed a basketball scholarship with the University of Tennessee at Martin, UT Martin. Came back home, entered into public education. I've been a teacher assistant, I've been a teacher, I've been an assistant principal, I've been a principal, I've been an assistant superintendent, and recently retired as superintendent of the Moss Point School District after serving there for 4 years. And, was really a good opportunity for me because being here on the coast, one of the things that you know is that the Moss Point School District has always kind of been the whooping boy, if I can put it that way, on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Low socioeconomic area. So of course, a lot of our clientele looks like me. So one of the things that I endeavored to do was to bring opportunities to the children there because they deserve it. So proud that we were able to start the first aviation program in the state of Mississippi. A lot of things we don't know. Because we've been publicized a whole lot, but we had the #1 welding program in the state. The #1 early childhood program in the state. And we had just entered, right when I retired, we had just entered a partnership with Alcorn State University and the United States Department of Agriculture to start an agronomy agriculture program, where our children will basically be able to acquire the necessary certifications on graduation from high school to get a certification where they actually enter a profession, where they were making $60,000 in the field of agriculture and farming. And they decided to do so through that partnership with Alcorn State University. They would have been able to have a full run to go to Alcorn State if they were going to major in agriculture. So just excited that we were able to provide those opportunities to those children in Moss Point. And I think we laid a pretty good foundation for success in subsequent years in the city of Moss Point. That's my story.
All right. So pretty much what I did do when we first started, I apologize, y'all. We didn't see how to read. That's the room, the bathroom, go down. We have he first, they have it. And he also called the building. So this one's the building. All right. If it had it's not from out there, they also days to deal with some of that. And now we're going to choose our program. This is you start taking it up. At any time, you get your snack, get you some water. Perfect. We're gonna be going. So Doc, we're gonna start you off with the first one. You got 3 times that we can touch on. And when you touch on them, anyone else can pick up on them. They're gonna go to the next time. All right, Doc. There. Subject. The first one we want you to talk about is self-image, because we know for a fact, I know for a fact, you got stuff to say out of Jackson County. I know for a fact, y'all don't want to take a made suit, Gucci shoes. But you work good, you feel good, you know what I'm saying? But Doctor, this talking express to he's not just a young man, but all of them is just the importance of room and presentation. Also, before you gonna piggyback on them because the work that you do. And then stress management. Yeah, that's it, that's right. We got a room and presentation, stress management, and conflict resolution. We can touch on that. Y'all.
Let me talk about the stress management piece first. One of the things for me, I have no hobbies. I don't hunt, I don't fish, I don't play golf. So I don't have well, I take that back. I have an unusual hobby. I love to do laundry while watching Sound and Sun and Good Times. So that is my hobby, doing laundry every Saturday while watching Sound and Sun and Good Times replay. So, but in terms of going out, hunting, fishing, spending money, playing golf, I don't have any of those things. So it's important to have an outlet, particularly for me. I just turned 50 years old this year. So, you know, the older you get, the more important it is to take care of your temple, that physical body in which we live in. So, I made the choice once turning 50 to be real intentional on making sure I get back in the gym, making sure I, you know, do some things to, make sure that I'm keeping my mental in a good place. And also in terms of stress management, first and foremost, of course, we are threefold nature. We are a spirit, we live in a body, and we possess a soul, which is our mind, our will, and our emotions. So it's important that we take care of all 3 parts of man, our spirit, our soul, mind, will, and emotions, as well as our physical body. And a lot of times we automatically shift to taking care of the physical body without taking care of the spirit, without taking care of the soul. So it's important. Don't have a whole lot of time to dig into that, but it's important that we take care of the threefold nature of man. But just talking about the physical body, I mean, one of the things since turning 50, I'm really intentional on getting in the gym about 3 days a week. It's not fun. In fact, I used to love it, but now I hate it. But it's just something that you have to do in order to maintain and be in a good place, particularly mentally as well as physically. He talked about the presentation on the style piece. I think it's important to talk about the stress management piece first, because I think it's important to dress from the inside out. If I can put it that way, you can get a custom suit, but if you're putting a jacked up body in it, what's good is that. So it's important to dress from the inside out. There's an individual that I heard say not long ago, is that when you step into a place, it's important that when you step in there, that people don't forget that you were in the room. A lot of that starts with presentation. how you look, grooming, how you take care of yourself. I'm looking across the room. I wish I had some of y'all's hair. I don't have as much as I used to, Bar. In fact, I had to draw some on up there. But just making sure your hair is tight, making sure that you smell good, making sure that you're in a place where you're representing you as well as your family. I grew up in a house with all women, 5 older sisters and a mother. So one of the things that they said, one of the things my wife tells me now, she said, look, man, look, boy, what they told me was growing up. Just realize that when you step out, you represent us. So it's bigger than us. And at the end of the day, you're listening to the vote say, I am a 5-fold minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So first and foremost, when we step out, we need to realize that we're representing God. And God's not broke, busted, or disgusted. So he wants us to represent in a way where we're not looking the same. So I think that's all I wanted to touch on. Laura? It's a lot. There was a lot of stuff there. It was good stuff. What you wear tells the world what you think about yourself. What you wear tells the world what you think about yourself. So when you don't comb your hair or you don't worry about how you smell, it tells the rest of the world that you don't respect yourself enough to come out in public. So why should the rest of the world respect your presentation? You're telling the world. Mr. Jones might wear a tie one day, you know. Once you see someone in the tie, you know, okay, this is someone to be respected. Who is this guy? What, he knows something. That's probably where the money is, you know. Somebody may wear, I got those tennis shoes today, so I might have to change y'all. I might have to run. I might want to play basketball. I don't know. I'm just comfortable, but you know, I like my jeans, so I feel stylish too. But it's business up top. I'm telling the world how I want to be perceived. I'm gonna connect this with Miss Heather. How do you go asking for money or looking for investors if you don't look like it? You gotta look like money if you want to make money. If you don't look like money, 9 times out of 10 you won't grow money. You gotta at least look successful, or at least look like you have the means to create your own future. That's the key. You gotta look like you got the means, not just look, you gotta be able to do it too, but you got to have that perception, not just the clothes, but the clothes like Mr. Ham said, how you feel inside. The clothes in many cases a little bit more courageous, a little bit more brave. When you know you smell good, you'll talk to that girl. Oh, I know I smell good. Let me go get her. Yeah. When you know you look good, you walk a different way. You sit like you don't want to push your Jordans up because you know they look so good. All of those things internally don't add to your value and how you value. So just keep that in mind.
All right. Supervisor. Does he own a barber shop and a salon? He on that presentation. Then we're going to go to Johnson. Then go to Supervisor Johnson.
With our business. Business aspect. Yeah, I've been in business for 30 plus years as a professional, but I grew up cutting hair. Did it for a hobby, did it for free for a lot of years. But I do that I want to get into it like a man over here that grew up in a different lifestyle. And I knew that I wanted to be that professional. But the lifestyle I was living before, I knew that wasn't the way. But I got a unique story in that lifestyle I was living. I knew that that was the lifestyle for me. And I watched the car burn. I watched the car burn up on me on the freeway. I was living in Dallas, Texas. And I knew that wasn't the life that I was supposed to be living.
But everything burned in that car, but my body. My food. That was an awakening for me. Because I knew I had to call the ministry in my life. And so that was an awakening for me and a sign to leave the lifestyle that I was living. And so I moved back to Mississippi and in Walker Road. And I was 29 years old. The barber instructor called me up. I used to weld as well. And so I got actually 2 degrees, one in weld and one in barber. And so I want to encourage again the young men, don't overlook community college as well. That's one test. Because now as a supervisor, when we go to these conferences, they're encouraging us to encourage the young men to don't overlook the community college aspect, because a lot of graduates and they're encouraging us to encourage the young community to get trained at community college level as well, because a lot of the jobs at community college, robotics and different things of that nature, a lot of the young people are getting those jobs, going into these careers, doing numbers at the community college level. And the community college are even partnering with the states and the federal government to get trained at the community colleges so that they can bring training in at these different industries and different companies are looking for, so that they can do these partnerships. So that community college level. But I did that, and that was my story. So for 30 years now, I've been cutting hair, and this is my 10th year as a supervisor. But it's like me answering a call, not just that call, but this call is for service. But yeah, I've been doing that for 30 years now. Service in both aspects.
What's your appearance? I gotta know. What's your appearance says about you? When you run the streets of 15th Street, 21st Street, Broom Circle, Villa Del Rey, Northfield, Hitchcock Street, Martin Luther King. How do the community, not the community that's here right now, how do the people on the street see you and view you when you dress a certain way? How do they take that appearance and how do they come at you? And I know that you did that.
Well, it's sad, but you will be judged on your appearance. Whether you want to be how you dress is going to be a reflection of how you treat it. That's a sad case, but that's the world we live in. I mean, it really is. If you dress a certain way, you can straight edge student. You walk on the streets and you dress a certain way, put pants sagging and not groomed, you will be treated as such. And you can put up the argument, but that's the reality that I have lived.
Give some backstreet talk. So this is straight up, no chaser. I mean, we got pastors in here, we got reverends, we got Ken, we got everybody when people say, for me, saying out the way, it's being televised. So we got to give them what they're not getting. What they get right now is not a straight talk. They got a straight talk. I saw them with their hats and caps and different things.
Well, what Mr. Hullman is asking me to do is go backwards.
That's right. Please, one time.
To my history. What you see sitting here today is the city council. And I gotta be careful with the words that I say about my previous lifestyle, the way I used to live. What I incriminated myself.
Well, if you think of this song, you can ready to do the also the law to the interest.
No judgment, but at one time I ran the streets.
I ran the streets. I'm talking about ran the streets, not just walking the streets, but was a figurehead in the streets, calling shots in the streets. You go, you take care of that. You bring this over. You know about this. If y'all follow what I'm trying to say to you. And it got even to a point for me being on the streets that I changed the way I dressed because I knew when I encountered officers of the law that I would be judged if I dressed a certain way. So my dress changed just to fit in with everybody, even though my activities didn't. Some I'm not proud of, but I knew that I was being judged just by how I was being dressed. So therefore, I started wearing slacks. I started wearing suits. I started wearing button-up polo shirts and khakis and spirit top signs. Keeping my haircut and stay groomed. So therefore, my appearance was as a man of business. It was. But it's just very important that even if you're not doing anything wrong, you can be doing what's right. But your appearance, young man, it will be judged. Whether you want it to be judged or not, it will be. And then when you pause right there, because I'm going somewhere with this. That morning you get ready to go to school. And that man got his brain flew out under that tree right there in front of us. You still had to go to school that day to come back to this community function. Because you couldn't show no weakness. After said a man get his brain blown clean out, right? And y'all look to y'all there in front of that tree right there. How did that affect you? And how did you change your appearance up and the way you conducted yourself? Well, I remember that. I was at Central Junior High. The man name was Charlie Perry. Mr. Lee Buster was the one who heard him. I remember the next morning, walk from Junior Drive down 15th, get on the bus on Martin Avenue, and we see pieces of this man's brain still on the sidewalk and still in the tree next to where he got shot. And the next morning, we students, we got to walk past and we looking at it. We heard about it. I didn't see the murder, but I heard about it. And I just looked at it. And you get on the school bus and you still got to function. But that's the type of community that this once was. I won't say we no longer like that. We have come a long way in this community, thanks to Mr. Hunter, thanks to the police department. But living in those conditions, we couldn't show any signs of weakness. And that's the truth. You couldn't be weak. You had to stand strong on my flesh, young man. You couldn't show weakness. And even though you wanted to become a sign of weakness, truthfully, you was gonna be ostracized, man. You weren't gonna be able to be in the community. And it's sad, but that's a harsh reality growing up in the 90s. And still had to go, matter of fact, I was in the 80s. And still had to come to school and function in Mr. Limbrights class. You know, we still had to, a lot of people had no idea what was going on in West Gulfport, but we still had to go to school straight faced and function amongst our classmates, and they have no idea of how we was living out here. It has not always been easy out here. I mean, I want to say thank God for Katrina. I know a lot of people don't understand it, but Katrina actually cleaned gas on us on. It was so violent in this community at one time. You didn't know whether you was gonna live or die. And that's the truth. But I'm talking about, I don't know you guys age, how old are you? 7, 15, 16, 17, 14, 13. You was blessed to get out of here. And the truth, to see where I'm coming from, like I was telling you guys earlier, I was an on-road student. So that's right there. Right there. On-road student, straight A student, dressed best of the bed, dual family household, grandmother loved them to death. You see it when I tell and had to operate in the limits of what went on in West Gulfport, College Gaston Point. Because that ain't where you from, that ain't what you got. It's can you make it back and forth? And we're gonna come back because I want to Supervisor talk about this same type of deal in North Gulfport on the club that things happen for anger management. How do you control your anger management through that?
Let me say one more thing. That's why I'm stressing to y'all the importance of the right decisions now.
So am I speaking on anger management or what am I speaking on?
You see, from the standpoint of what you have seen firsthand as an officer, how to control the anger management, what you went through as a club owner, to see these young men come in and out, when you just praise them, and then you just see one of them speak their demise, heard about their demise, that following morning, after trying to see life in change.
Yeah, there's no fun on the street. There's no street life. I know there's been some over the years saying street life, but there's no fun on the street. You know, I get on the business like nightclub and I've always had a couple jobs. You know, I've always had, as Helen mentioned earlier, I've always had several streams of income, but it was all legit. You know, when you out here on the streets and you're doing the street life, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be legit. And that's a dangerous game because you're going to encounter the law enforcement on a regular basis. And when law enforcement, ex-cop as well, when a police pull you over and you saw hollering and screaming, jump up and down about your rights and how right you are. I don't care what that police officer does. You know, you still have to maintain your cool. You still have to maintain your anger. Because 9 times out of 10, the officer's going to be right. It's not likely to lose his job. You know, you want to talk about your rights. He's not likely to lose his job. You know, he's going to be protected. And he's going to be protected because of the code of law enforcement. What you have to do is understand that you can live to see a better day. And with that being said, you can always come back and with your attorneys or whatever, and you can fight that situation. But you can't win that night. You know, pull over, put your hands out. Yes, no, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, whatever the case might be. You're not going to win that fight that night. So you need to get that out your head. You know, what my rights are, and I have a right to do this. Yeah, you have a right, but your rights not going to be solved that night. It's going to be solved over the next several days, several months in court. So that's one thing I really want you to focus on is you're not going to win that argument that night. So, and when it comes to another thing, when it comes to anger management is you got to have, as young men, you got to have some self-integrity. You got to look yourself in the mirror and say, what am I doing? You know, and stop passing the buck and stop blaming someone else. And integrity to me is, you know, doing what's right when no one else is around. You know, how much of that are we doing as youngsters? You know, doing what's right when no one else is around. That's the integrity side of things. Because when you're out here, you know, we were speaking about dressing, and we were speaking about how you're carrying yourself. That's fantastic, and you got to have it. But you can't live a double life and expect to survive with it. You're not going to. It's going to catch up with you. It's going to catch up with you. So your integrity is who you are as a man, as a young man. And one more thing along that line before I pass the mic. What's really, really important to me when it comes to you young men is you guys going to have to encourage each other. We can sit up here and talk day in and day out, but you're going to have to pick each other up. You see one of your brothers going down the wrong path, you got to have the audacity to talk to him and say, look, bro, this ain't the right thing. Now, they're going to probably think you're trying to get into their business or whatever, and in our actuality, you are. But you got to be able to talk, and you got to be able to listen. I think one of the most important things, one of my strongest traits that I've always had is I was always a good listener. You know, someone tell me something, I'm going to listen. You guys need to be good listeners. And when you're a good listener, you stop and think, and then you understand and you comprehend what your situation is. But it all starts with yourself. It all starts with in your looking in that mirror, and that person you see in that mirror, you have to ask that person, what kind of day did I have? What kind of night did I have? Did I do the right thing? Did I say the right thing? Because as you can tell, the direction that we're in now, you will be held responsible. You know, yeah, hey, I'm a juvenile, I can commit this crime. It's not going to follow no wrong answer. Whatever you do, whenever you do it, it's going to follow you. So you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to look into that mirror, and you got to have this discussion with you before you can have it with anyone else.
Now, Jason, we was coming to you, so that's a segue into, you can't try, Ken already talked about it, you can't try the case on side of the road on Thursday, Friday night. You can't be a TikTok or social media lawyer. Now, you go into your standpoint, and there's 3 points I really want you to home in on. The first one is about international law enforcement. The second one I want you to home in on is the effects of fentanyl and how Narcan is not a fun tool to use, even though it's a life-saving method. And the last one, but definitely not least, y'all, violent crime and firearm assault rate in West Gulf and the minority communities, because right now it's over 90+%. Well, letting these young men know, if you shoot somebody, not only the community gonna tell you, your buddy gonna tell on you before you even get there. Can you talk on that?
Absolutely.
And then we're gonna take a 5-minute break and come back.
So I want to piggyback on the compliance. Kent Jones is right. Nobody ever wins on the side of the road. As a matter of fact, there's 100% fail rate when you argue on the side of the road. Guess where we lose? All the time. In court. We lose all the time in court. But there's 100% fail rate on the side of the road. And I know there's a lot of videos on YouTube that tell you how to get out of this and how to do this. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. If an officer asks you to step out your car, guess what? You have to step out your car. There's case law. Pennsylvania versus Mims that says you have to step out of your car if you get a lawful order, right? Don't argue because you're not going to win ever, right? There's a process, and that process might not be, you might not get the results that day or that week, but if you're right, you're right, and it's going to come out. All right. These days, I was talking to the 2 brothers back there at One Voice earlier today, and we were talking about how just escaping. What's that? Yeah. So this basically just tells you what to do. And the main thing is be respectful. This officer is just doing his job, right? Appreciate it. There are these flyers on the back if you guys want to grab them. But I'll break it down for you. Be respectful. Make sure you're driving legally. It's great when you have insurance, when you have your license, when everything's where it's supposed to be, you're riding clean. You don't have to worry about being picked on or whatever. Also, we'll go back to the appearance. You're going to be judged, whether it's a police officer, whether it's a car dealer. I'm being judged all the time when I pull over a bad guy, right? He's looking to see if he can outrun me, if he can outsmart me, if he can beat me up. Like, we're always studying. It's human nature. We're studying each other. So make sure you present yourself well. What was the other one, Jeffrey, that you wanted me to hit on? Jeffrey? Fentanyl. Everything's laced these days. You got to be careful. I was on my way to USM the other day to speak to some students, and I heard dispatch call over the radio that there was somebody ODing on fentanyl, and they administered 2 things in Narcan, and it's still not working. So you've got street pharmacists out there that are mixing things in everything: marijuana, pills, cocaine, crack, everything. So be careful. It doesn't take much fentanyl to OD from. Violent crime. We are only successful. Thank you. We are only as successful as our community. No, I got you. Yeah. So, yep. So, unfortunately, we're seeing a lot of those. But we're only as successful as our community. I tell all the new guys that the community is our eyes and ears. We get there a lot of times after the fact, after the shooting, when the body's on the ground, right? When the bad guy runs away with the gun. So we depend on you guys. We have 4 homicides this year, which is extremely low, knock on wood, right? And we have 4 solved homicides, which is even better. Violent crime is down. And I think partly that's because of the community is tired of this nonsense and this senseless violence. I think the judges are tired of it. So we're handing down harsher cases. We go back to the juveniles. We have 10 juveniles currently that are locked up in the big boy jail. Guess what? They're going to be locked up 5 years, 20 years, some life. We have a program called Before the Bullet. 2 of the guys that I wanted to be my poster boys. One's dead, one's locked up. He's locked up because he killed somebody over a $10 vape. Yeah. And then he calls me a couple months ago, rather. And his grandfather passed away. He was really close with his grandfather, and he wanted to know if he could get out and go to his funeral. And guess what? He couldn't. 5 years. I say 5 years. That doesn't seem like a long time to be incarcerated, right? But a lot happens in 5 years. Birthdays, weddings, hanging out with your friends, college. 5 years is a lot when you're locked up. You miss out on a lot. You miss out on decks, spurts, right? And those are just decisions that you just make without thinking, right? We go to conflict resolution. Think about it. Think about what you're going to do if you're locked up for 5 years, 20 years, life, right? I promise you, I've had best friends telling each other. I've had brothers telling each other. There's no code. I promise you. When I say, hey, guess what you're being charged with today? Homicide. And then you're going to tell me everything I want to know. I promise you, I've seen it time and time again.
Oh, one thing I would like you mentioned about the public perception. I've been on both sides. I've been locked up, and I've actually done research on it. When an officer makes a traffic stop, his number one goal is to go home. His number one goal. His number one goal is not to do you any harm or anything else. So in order to make that officer feel comfortable about going home, what you have to do is give him an invitation to do his job. When he approaches, let all your windows down, put your hand on the steering wheel, sir. If he asks, where's your driver's license? Sir, it is in the center console. You don't have to move a muscle whatsoever. And if you make him feel comfortable to do his job, I can assure you this, you will have nothing to worry about. Statistics shows that as African American men, officers are afraid of us. Hey, so you just have to make them feel comfortable. Is it right? No. Public perception. We can't control it. But what we can control is ourselves. Thank you.
This time we're gonna take a 5-minute break because y'all get visited. Then we're gonna come back with accountability and entrepreneur by Tabar, and then we're gonna speed this thing up. Y'all hanging in there. Good job. Let's go, Tabar. In the back, they got pizza, snacks, y'all have what y'all want.
We got a 5-minute break. This is the sounds of my brother, legendary DJ Mix Maestro, man. And they got the pizza. I don't know how I'm gonna eat this pizza over this camera. But the importance of this meeting is getting these young men together, man, under one roof. Hear multiple accounts from different people and stuff, man. Like I said, very, very important meeting here, man. Nice turnout. The panel is here. Most of them are my friends. I know some of them I'm just meeting for the first time. But man, good thing. Good thing. Yeah, indeed, man. Thank you, John. But I'm bad with me. Like I said, I'm on my phone, man. We didn't get a chance to get the internet up, so I'm just on my phone. Y'all just bad with me. Like I said, some good people here, man. Really good people. You can make it. Continue to watch, man. We're gonna hold it as long as we can. Like I said, right now, DJ Mix Maestro, legendary DJ Mix Maestro, my brother, started this stuff together, man. Down here on the Gulf Coast, this hip hop stuff. He's doing his thing. Yeah, man. Also, Brother Charles Dixon, the 228 Chop Top.
What's going on?
Yeah.
We're in the building, man.
That's right.
I need to be here.
That's right.
Come on, man.
That's right. My other brother. Hey, y'all gonna see him in the video. I got the video. Y'all gonna see him in the video. Okay. But it's a thing of unity. So we here together, man. Y'all can check the 228 Chop Top out at 6 p.m. on Sundays. Followed by me 8 p.m. on Sundays, man. We do what we do. Like I said, I'm gonna get y'all some picture of this pizza, man, because I'm gonna try and hold this camera and give me some of this pizza, man. But pizza all over the place, man. I mean, it's going down in a good spot, man. Going down in a good spot.
That could be round back.
This is in case you didn't know, this is a exclusive, you know what I mean, live coverage of the Straight Up No Chaser event that Mr. Jeffrey Holland put together, man. A lot of good organizations here, a lot of people that's from the community here. Sabari Daniels from JC 94.5 here. His information, Brother Hamp. Shahid Ali, my friend. Kent Jones, representative of the Board of Supervisors of Harrison County. Again, Brother Jeffrey Hullum, the state representative of Mississippi District 119. All men. You know, we had one female speaker that she here is gone, you know what I'm saying? So, but she talked about credit and stuff and stuff in the bank and stuff, man. Like I said, man, this thing is really good thing put together. This is the first one of many. So, like I said, an hour right now. But let's bear with us and keep us in mind. Next time, you can make it, man. Calm down. Like I said, shout out to Jeffrey because he's feeding everybody. They got pizza all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get me a shot of this pizza, man. I'll get this shot of this pizza, man. I ain't even hungry, but I'm gonna get a shot of this pizza, man. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said. A lot of people here, man. So. A lot of good, like I said, a lot of good information going on, man. So, y'all don't forget, this is the Coach Connect. We will not do a show tomorrow. This is our show this week.
special broadcast live. That's how we always do anyway, a live broadcast. Special broadcast live of Straight Up No Chaser event down here in Gulfport, Mississippi, man. The first of many. Y'all, like I said, this is just a test run we're gonna do, man, with this camera and the phone. But know that the event itself is what it's all about, man. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm gonna walk through the crowd a little bit. Some people I had to speak to, you know. Jason, what's up, brother? My man Jason is here, bro. I'm telling you, the Gulfport Police Department, man. Yeah, man, he's a good man. He's a good man. I'm telling you, y'all, if y'all need anything, y'all contact Jason. Good to see you, man. I saw you walk in. I was running my mouth. Sorry, man. But yeah, man. Like I said, my brother Tabari right here, man. I ain't gonna catch him out. I'm saying he drinking. I ain't gonna get you, but he's drinking Gatorade. I can tell you that. He is drinking Gatorade. I ain't gonna get to why he's drinking. My bad. My bad. Yeah, man. Like I said, man. See, again, I'm gonna show y'all Maestro doing this thing. This is where really hip hop started down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast with this man right here. Hip hop started right here with this man right here, man. He's a legendary hip hop mogul down here. You know what I'm saying? So he does this thing, man. While he's doing this thing, y'all can't do y'all thing unless he do his thing, man. I'm just saying, man. That's my brother for life, man. So what Jackie said as a mother of African American sons, which type of person hope these young men realize how valuable opportunity is. Great job, bro. Thank you, sister. Thank you, I appreciate it. But you know, one thing we always say, and we set out to do this show, man, we said that we were going to provide the community, bring the culture back to the community. And that's what we try to do. That's what we're going to do. And that's what we have to do it, and we want to do what we're going to do. We're going to make a difference one way or another. You know what I'm saying? So I really hate I can't get on my laptop and show you the whole thing, but we're doing this on the phone for this first time. Next time, I promise y'all, it'll be better. And it'll be a better presentation. But I'm just saying, right now, we're just doing what we do so we can do it, man. So just thankful to be here, man. Like I said, we look out over.
All right, that's the time. Let's see if I start taking your seat.
A lot of good people here.
We get ready to go into that power hour. This is the last hour of the event. So let's everybody take your seat. Let's get it started.
Getting ready to continue this thing. Y'all sit back with us, man. If you have kids or anything like that, you know somebody that needs to know some more information, y'all tune them in here, man. Tell them to come join us and just check it out. You know what I'm saying? Got a Gulfport legend here right now, my brother Pat Lewis. I'm telling you, man. What's going on? I don't know nothing, man. But yeah, like I said, it's going down, man. So we're gonna continue to do it, man. Continue to do it, man. So we about to get ready for hour 2. And I'm gonna get some pizza. Look, that's the second time. Second time they called the bar eating and drinking.
Let's go.
Yes, indeed, man. Y'all go ahead and check it out, man. I'm gonna grab me a piece of this pizza because I'm hungry too now. I wasn't hungry, but now I'm hungry because I see these people eating pizza. I wasn't even hungry. I wasn't even hungry, but I'm gonna get a piece of pizza right now.
All right.
We're gonna continue the hour.
So, for this last hour, I've got a lot of information, tangible information, factual information. You know, I'm gonna talk for 5 minutes, and then we'll be at 12. That's when our last hour. So I'm here to tell you and share with you. I know some of you are non-verbal gestures, y'all facial expression. Y'all look to the left, y'all look to the right, y'all see empty seats. This is what I want y'all to think about. When y'all see those empty seats, those empty moments, when you get time soon, that's how your life's gonna be. You're gonna start off with a lot of people, so you're gonna end up with the people you go out there on Friday, Saturday nights with, you may start one way, by the end of the night, you're gonna finish a different way. There's a lot of things that you have to do on your own. There's a lot of things you don't need the select few that's gonna go with you. Many people try to accomplish a lot of things, few accomplish anything. This is what it's about. And then when y'all live here, y'all free. It ain't always been the case. Y'all ain't always been free. When I say free, I'm saying free in the mind. Because y'all have the right to choose whichever way for y'all want to go in life. Y'all got so much peer pressure upon you that you don't know where you're going to come. Y'all live your life in a fast microwave generation, a shake and bake generation. You gotta get away from that. All the things take time to bake. You gotta bake those things out. These men in front of you are very, very, very successful. The men behind you on both sides are very, very successful. Those gentlemen podcasts are very, very successful. We're not just talking monetary. They're rich in city, they're rich in life, they're rich in, because all of them have a family. And their family is born, they make their family, not just their spouses, not just their kids. They have family that love them. They're trying to impart the same thing to you. I look around this room, I'm inspired to see how many young people, how many parents that brought their kids out on a Saturday morning. Now, I'm telling you a little story. Just last Saturday morning, we gave out 50,000 pounds of food. The people's in line at 6 o'clock in the morning to wait for some food, they didn't get to 10 o'clock. But that's something that they need, something that they want. But to get those same people to come out on the Saturday morning, it tells the difference between the one that have and one that have not. And I'm not talking about from a monetary standpoint, I'm talking about what's right for your kids in that community. Because if y'all sitting here right now, one of y'all fellow classmates 92 years ago got shot down like a wrecked dog right there where y'all see that sign and the little bears at. And then right in that room over there in a leadership course. One had a gun, the other one had a gun. And you know what he said? The guy said, "That's 12. The other guy said, "Nah, I ain't came to fight." Some boys still, that one boy still waiting to go to court. The other boy died in my arms right out there. Shot multiple times. And his friends that ran in the building said, "Mr. Jeff, they shot. And so when they took out running, they ran down here, hit Dixie, threw the gun in the ditch, and ran down Genevieve. When they ran down Genevieve, the people told them. When the police came out here, they did what they had to do, the boy was already dead. But guess what the worst part about it? His own friend told them where they threw the gun. And they thought they were smart. So down here on the Gulf Coast, we got this thing called DMR, Department of Marine Resources. They got these snake suits that they can put on to go on anything. And that something came out of the back of that big F-450 pickup truck, put that snake suit on, went right in that ditch, got that gun out of there. And now his mama said, "It wasn't my boy. It was your boy." One thing we tell you about being out here in Gaston Point, it's still good. You will respect it. It'll make you respect it. All these people up here successful in their own right came through some rare passage. Everybody didn't travel the same road, but they came back to get back to you all. I sit there and I look and I laugh at people when they see me out and about, or they see me with a suit on, they see me with some Gucci loafers on, they start saying, "He talk like that because he's chef, he coming from this and hell, I can't win you bed." I went to the Army and been successful in the Army. I saw me, but how did I get to the Army? Because I thought I was going to be the next big boy that got the point. And on a Friday night, a big country boy, 6'6", 285 pounds out of New Orleans on the task force, and kind of showed me just how small I really was when he punched in my jaw. He knocked the fight out of me. I said, "Forget football, I went to the Army." And when I went to the Army, I lived a different life. So now I guess what I do, I see somebody selling dope. If I see somebody going wrong in the community, I'm telling you. I'm a law-abiding taxpaying citizen. I'm telling you. So you ain't gotta worry about it. If you shoot somebody in Gaston Point, I guarantee you, if the people don't, if the police, see, this our thing out here. Now, you think I'm lying, you got James for working with us for 7 years. We got this thing that you're not gonna lose and say. You shoot somebody out here and get out the point. If the police don't solve it in 24 hours, the community gonna solve it in 48 hours. Or the hood gonna solve it in 76. So we love all people out here, no matter how bad they is. You come out here shooting, you're gonna get shot back by the police. You're going to damn jail. Because no kid nor elders have to live in fear. No kid nor elders have to live in fear. When y'all going down to these communities, especially minority communities, we don't call the poor community, call low to moderate income communities. Y'all see these little things on side, it's like a little, what they call it, RFD, oh, it's like a little solar panel on top of a little black box. Then, what's that? Guess what? That's a camera. So they went over there and shot that AK-47 right over there, thought they were funny. And he went down there and hit that man in the car, but that man was in the back of his car asleep. Because he been working all night and couldn't make it in his house. So he was asleep all over and killed that man. Them suckers thought they got away. They made it in Orange Grove. But guess what? The camera caught them at Memorial Hospital. All them cats went out there shooting out here and thought they were going to make it back to the pass. They got to the pass. But the camera caught them on Lewis Avenue, on River. So what I'm telling you, they don't make laws for you all. We make laws for you all. I want to see how grown be successful. I don't care if you're a flying player, how successful a baseball player you is. How good a basketball player you is. Because at the end of the day, majority of those kids who commit those crimes is somebody who been with somebody they shouldn't be with. Sometimes your friend ain't your friend. I've been to war 6 times. 6 shooting wars. I'm not the person who stand in front of you, but we can. So now look at the equivalent things. I'm not upset because I got what the MDCs need. So we start pulling back on school supply drive. We start pulling back on food distribution. We start pulling back on freaking different things, turkey and all that. For every action has a reaction. But for you all, and y'all mentor, this is what the life is about. All y'all buddies ain't y'all buddies. But guess what? The information y'all take today is not for y'all to keep. It's for y'all to point and share with y'all friends. This is not their fault that they're not here. You know why? Because y'all are kids. Y'all need to conduct yourself as kids. Stop trying to live before your time. There's 2 places for you that's still the same. Hell and jail. So that's exactly where you're going. Right now, we got a zero tolerance policy right now in school districts. You got a school superintendent right there that asks any questions. You got a freaking police right there. You got a county supervisor, you got a city council member, you got the man that's finna go and oversee all y'all schools in the state of Mississippi. Then you got a wildlife fishing. Then you got one of the most successful entrepreneurs that actually love y'all in the state of Mississippi, right here to reach out at any time. This you need to champion. Champion yourself. Stop championing people on social media. Now I'm gonna ask y'all one question, and Tavares on you. How many of y'all know Ken Jones? Okay, a few of y'all not throwing people. Now I got another question. A few of y'all know Ken Jones now. I'll ask y'all this question here. How many of y'all know what NBA Youngboy told that dude in the audience the other day? If you throw something else up here, we're gonna break your face. Watch it. See you laugh. Y'all watch the wrong thing. That man made a mockery of the youth. Because every time he come out there and make these songs to make you go out there and kill a fool, he gets billions of dollars. What he do? Go back to Arizona or Utah behind a gated wall. He's a multi-millionaire. Everybody's gonna come to the boots, but what the boots say? He'll never send his kids to a public school. So think about that. The people y'all idolize don't even give 2 flips about y'all. How many of them come and put interest on y'all on the weekend in y'all sports? How many of them ladies y'all traveling baseball? Y'all mothers still out there trying to strive and straight and do fundraising to help y'all get to where y'all going. Channeling y'all image, channeling y'all emotions. Y'all are the best of the best. Because every day you wake up, you take out in your life. The journey of God's Father here in one step. Y'all gotta think like that. If y'all don't get these guys' number, y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong, because guess what? The way our country is going right now, young folk, and the way they're trying to take away public school, young folk, the way the groceries are going up, young folk, the way the price they're going young folk, y'all can go get a job. There's two things you're gonna get a job, you're gonna go rob. I'm looking at some of y'all right now. Some of y'all look too frail to rob. Y'all look too frail to rob. I'm looking at some of y'all to me. When Jake started big dog, I never did, he didn't ring the name. So they gonna tell. You know? And I'm gonna tell you how I know this. When y'all walk up that back door, y'all ain't really who y'all over. Y'all look down there, y'all ain't just the same community. Everybody in the community look like you, it's the same community. The boy that ain't gonna do nothing to y'all, they gonna laugh at you. And when it's over, they gonna say, they call the book out here, they say, book. They call the church, man, what y'all trying to do? I got writing dudes in our community, man. I'm doing supposed to be out there, man. You know, what y'all trying to do? All boys little stuff like that, man. That's how they talk. But hey, don't get out of here, so the police down with y'all too. Finish out, don't get them up out of here. So it's that. They got Supervisor Jones and man go above and beyond. And see how y'all looking at me? That's how y'all should be looking at them teachers in school. They care more about you than me.
I would say that.
No, let me finish what I'm saying. They care more about them because they educate, they teaching them.
They get paid.
They get paid. When I said they get paid, but they get paid to do what? Teach them, cultivate their mind, shift their mind. My mind, and what I come here to do is totally different. I look at the little boys, I look at the environment. I do what I do for the grandparents. And it got trickles down to the kids, the kids got to deal with y'all. There you go. His wife is a principal. Correct. His old lady is a principal. Rest Elementary. And I'm gonna say this, everybody thought that the kids got much to learn. Yeah, we're an A-rated school district. We're an A-rated school. Did she run for a lot of fellas? Yes, she did. His wife teach every day. And guess what? Some of these people, not y'all friends, y'all hang around to their class climbers. They take away y'all learning ability. I lived in 10 states and 4 countries. You know what they think about the matches in Mississippi? No matter what your color is, they think you're stupid. That's a vast, you go online and look it up. What's the perception of Mississippi people? They're stupid, slow, dumb, uneducated. A bunch of country bumpkins. So, like I said again, your reputation supersedes you, but you're gonna be okay. So what I'm saying, are y'all looking at me? Get y'all teachers there. These fellas up there, they care about you. This man is a rock star. First superintendent, first academic ever started aviation school in one of our schools. 2 pilots already, and they ain't even 20 years old. That's y'all should have championed. Because these other entertainers don't get too flips about it. That man on that picture, Derek Hall, he get ready to play a pitch, but he wanted to make sure that y'all have what y'all need. That's what you do. And Pat got the right to speak up because we got the Second Amendment. But that was different. Yeah, that's the First Amendment. I started thinking about me. I'm a strong supporter of the Second Amendment, so I almost got to be careful for a second. Because right now I'm speaking from a nonprofit standpoint. I get nonprofit. But hey, we're going into this. This is going to be quick. I got to pick up on it because the last 15 minutes is going to be a Q&A. We're going to start with Tabari. We're going to talk about accountability and entrepreneurship. Because if you ain't never done it, if you ain't never seen it, you can't get it. That's just the bottom line.
All right, write this down. The best, I'll give you time. This is important. Write this down. This is the truth. Okay. The best ability is accountability. The best ability is accountability. Accountability isn't something you just given. It's something that you take. You take accountability. And it takes you being fearless. You got to be brave. That's the cornerstone of being a man. All I need you to write down is the best ability is accountability. Each one of you young men are going to have to learn. Same thing us older men had to learn. We have to take accountability. As part of leadership, you got to take responsibility for all the people that's behind you. Your kids, sometimes your mama, sometimes somebody else's kids. There are 4 things that I learned from my dad and other men around me that men are all about. The first one everybody knows. A man's first principle is to provide and protect. Right? Write that down. That's what you're gonna have to do. These 4 things are the cornerstone. Number 1, you got to provide and protect. Now, what are you providing? As a man, you're going to have to be there to provide structure. As a man, you're going to have to be there to provide discipline. You're going to have to be the firm one sometimes. You're going to have to be the one to say no. You're going to have to be able to provide consistency. You can't say yes today and no tomorrow. They got to be able to say, go ask your daddy and be consistent and strong in that word. So number 1 is to provide and protect. Number 2, I'm telling you some real stuff right now. Number 2, you have to create and maintain a legacy. Everything that you do right now, you think is for you. You think it's, oh yeah, I'm having fun. I'm making money for me. I'm doing all these things for myself. But the truth is, you hustling for your last name, not your first. You hustling for all the people that's coming after you, all the people that you're extended and connected to. Okay. Number 2, to create and maintain a legacy. Number 3, to aspire to be the champion. In other words, you got to be the best. No woman wants the number 2 guy. You don't want to be the number 2 guy. Every man aspires to be the man with the championship belt. You want to be on top. You have to aspire to be number 1. I'm not saying you got to break any laws to do it. I'm not saying you got to cheat. You got to at least aspire to get stronger, get faster, get smarter, because you have other people depending on you for that. Your family, your friends, your community. Number 4, the last one, and I think it is the most important. How you revere your women. How do you look at women? See, the thing is, a good woman will enable you to do all 3 of those other things. A good woman is going to help you create that legacy. A good woman is going to help you manage and organize the things you provide and protect. A good woman is going to aspire you to be number 1. Having that good woman is going to help you reach all 4 of those things of your purpose. Those are the things that All the four things I told you, each one of these men, that's woven into their success. That's woven into how they measure themselves as men. That's how they hold themselves to an accountability. How am I providing for my family? How am I protecting my family? How am I training myself to be the best? How am I maintaining my legacy? The people who came before me, my parents, my grandparents, my kids, my cousins, am I a good representation of them? And lastly, my woman is holding my flag. She's a reflection of who I am. When she walks in public and they see that she is an incredible woman, she reflects the incredible man I am. Those four things. That's how you're gonna carry out all the things you're going to do. Whether you're trying to be an athlete, an engineer, politician, supervisor, whatever those things are. That's how you measure yourself in being accountable. Okay. Second thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be brief. Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship. I don't like to talk about myself, but I since we're amongst friends, I do a lot of things in multimedia, movies and all. I've been shooting movies. 3 years ago, I was in a movie with Will Smith. 2 years ago, I was in a movie with Sylvester Stallone. That same year, I was in a movie with Jason Bateman. I'm saying to say some of the names. Movie with Will Smith is called Emancipation. Movie with Sylvester Stallone is called it's gonna come to me in a minute, but it's on Netflix. Jason Bateman's movie is called Carry On. I've got several other movies that's about to come out by the end of this year. It's one of my income streams as far as entrepreneurship. I've just been qualified to be part of the Screen Actors Guild. You gotta be part of a union. So in order for you to do that, get residuals on movies where I have some, how Miss Heather said, making money as you sleep. I've got a check coming in as I sleep because of the movies that are being shown now overseas. I've been in a series with Aldous Hodge called Leverage. So that's one of my income streams. I'm also a realtor, real estate investor. I'm just closed on a couple of houses last week. I got an $800,000 house I'm hoping to close. We'll see if the lady says yes next week, but we'll see. That's another revenue stream. I'm looking at starting on clothing line. So now I'm doing the research with JCPenney's right now. Been talking to some district supervisors. I've got onto the team because I said I've got to learn on the ground up. So I took on a side hustle. And I'm working their ins and outs. I want to know how they're doing inventory. I want to know how they're structuring the business and how they're getting things. And is there a way I can get my garments for a cheaper price, or can I use the same wholesaler? You know, sometimes you have to take a low, what you think a low job, just so you can get the knowledge so that you can apply it to the things you want to do. Another thing about an entrepreneur is mentally, it doesn't matter what you do, you're working for yourself. You can have a job where you're working for a boss, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you're at that same job and you're using that money because you're investing in yourself. An entrepreneur is always working for themselves because they are trying to be accountable, because they've got all four of those things that they're having to deal with, having to maintain. Okay, each one of these gentlemen here are entrepreneurs. They're not just working to work. You know, they're not just working because, you know, they want to make somebody else rich, or, you know, all of them are great people and very idealistic. But they also, all of these gentlemen have a vision for what they want to accomplish for themselves and their community. Okay? Now, 3 things, y'all are young. I'm gonna give y'all 3 ideas on what you can do to start making some money right now. Number 1, you're young. And you're probably more technically savvy than the older people in your family. So you probably could start maintaining the technology for your household, for your mamas, for your grandparents. Some of you might have a mama or something who needs to do a business. Maybe she can cook or something like that. So you might be able to set up the social media page for her. There's money in that. You are a generation that where technology is going. You should be learning as much as that. Everybody's talking about AI and everything else. And some people will argue that AI is going to kill all these jobs. That's the way to look at it. There's another way to look at it is AI is going to create a whole new set of jobs. Okay? You need to be thinking ahead. I'll give you an example because I know that sounds kind of crazy. Before social media, nobody was thinking about following somebody around to take pictures and editing and all that stuff. Now everybody's doing it because the technology changed. All of a sudden you got social media. Now having a camera is something. A person who can repair cameras.
Hold it right there. Since you said social media, real quick, Doc, responsibility by social media. Responsible social media.
One thing I'll say about social media is once you put it out there, just the World Wide Web in general, once you put it out there, it's out there. Now, I don't know if I'm the man to talk about social media because I have no Facebook, no Instagram, no Snapchat, no Twitter, no even LinkedIn. But one of the things that I do know about it is once it's out there, it's out there. As simple as even if you take it down, take your post down, as simple as a screenshot. So that's one of the things that you have to be cognizant of is whatever you put on the World Wide Web is out there and you can't get it back. Whatever you send via text message is out there and it can be on the World Wide Web in the twinkling of an eye. So those are things that you have to be cognizant of. If you don't want, if you don't want the entire world to see it, don't put it out there.
The reason I asked you, I'm coming to Prescott, I got a pinpoint question. I asked Doc, he was the school superintendent. So he know what y'all young folk be sharing on there when it comes up to his office. But also someone who deal with the school, deal with the youth from a sports standpoint every day. Mr. Pat Lewis.
I hate social media. Literally. Because everybody that posts is doing it for clicks. What are clicks? Likes. My classmate, Tabor, used the word accountability. That's the difference in our generation and where we're at now. Our parents held us accountable. We held each other accountable. That's how we became leaders. Y'all have no imagination. If one person commit a crime, there's one of y'all friends, all y'all fit the description. Everybody got a lot of hair with a tip fade and a fade in the back. Nobody has waves. Nobody has a low haircut. Nobody's set apart. If you don't have a twin, then you came in this world by yourself. So what's meant for you is for you, not your friend, not your homeboy, not your mom. It's for you. And what's meant for you can't no one take away. Dr. Harper was my classmate. I've been knowing him since I was 10. Mr. Bugler was my classmate. I've been knowing him since I was 5. We played T-ball together. Tabora and I been knowing each other since we were 5, so we family, but not family. And all of us came up in the era where we had to learn how to compete. And what I want y'all to get out this meeting, you don't have to be an entertainer. You don't have to be an athlete to be successful. You could be a plumber. We went wrong when we took trades out of schools. If I could come up now and get under a brick mason at 18 and learn the trade till I'm 21, I could write a business plan to get a loan from a bank and start my own business at 21. And then I got longevity. Dr. Harper not big on names. Doctor, that's a big title. Everybody's not able to get a doctorate degree. So if you're going to use social media, don't do it for clicks. Do it to put out a message. Y'all are natural leaders, but you have to own it, embrace it. No peer pressure. Sacrifice. Stand up for something or fall for anything.
Jason, and talk real quick, briefly. How y'all solve crimes on social media? Everybody like to brandish their guns on social media.
So I'm with Mr. Pat on I hate social media as well. I run the social media site for Gulfport Police Department, and I see it as a tool for recruitment. But as a police officer, we love social media because guess what? Everybody loves to publish or post their guns, post everything they're doing, all the drugs they're selling, and guess what? It's never gone. Everything that you do, we can recover from Facebook or Instagram or X, which is formerly Twitter. We can get all that stuff. And we can connect the dots to everything because we have technology. Guess what? We don't have 200 cops like we did back in the early 2000s, right? We're 30-something cops short. But guess what we do have? We have more technology. All those cameras that Jeffrey was talking about earlier, they're also tag readers. So I can tell you everywhere your car goes. And guess what? Bay St. Louis might have them. Jackson might have them. So we can trace your car and trace your steps every single place that you've gone. And that's how we're able to solve a lot of these crimes. We don't need witnesses. A lot of times we don't need witnesses. We just rely on technology.
All right, Councilman Buckner, and then we go on to the next issue. It's going to be coming to Supervisor Jones. You can start thinking about it. Issues that matter.
Okay, what I want to let you gentlemen know is this. Find your passion. Find what it is that you enjoy in life. AI is not going to take all the jobs. It's impossible. You have jobs out there where you can make over $100,000 yearly. They're not going to take away plumbing, electrician, HVAC, carpentry, landscaping, auto mechanics, chef, trades, police officers, firefighters. These are jobs where we're going to need men and women to do these jobs. AI is not going to come build a house. They're definitely not going to come unclog your toilet. So think about those things for your future because these are respectable jobs that we need in our communities.
Also, too, what the councilman was saying, even if you don't have that job, those skills are things you're going to need. Whether you work on HVACs or not, eventually your AC is going to go out. Your mama's AC is going to go out. So it's good to have the know-how of what it takes to fix it or how to wire a house. You know, just like they were saying about trades in school. You used to learn some of those things in school. You know, how to build a fence, all types of stuff. So just keep that in mind. All those things that Mr. Buckner was saying about those skills, even if you don't go into business with those things, having those skill sets and having the know-how is important.
All right, Supervisor Jones, issues that matter. We get into the final stretch and we get down to the brass tacks. Issues that matter that these young men can affect the county from your standpoint.
I'll say from their personal being, make sure that your mental health is stable. You know, because stress at a young age can create some mental issues. And with those mental issues come anger. And then with that anger comes the consequences, which is usually not very good. I think you need to be, some issues you should be concerned about also is sustainable financial issues. Because at your age now, you guys are 15, 16, 17, you need to start honing your skills and know what you want to do going forward. So I think your financial stability, even though you may not think so right now because you're so dependent on your parents, but I think it's something you need to really start to consider what you want to do and what is it going to take to get there and how disciplined are you to reach that goal. Now we want to get from a I'm more local standpoint. Avoid the drug and avoid game. You know, Pat said something that was really cool. You got to be who you are. You know, you don't let anyone else create something for you. You got to be who you are. And you were born to be something. And you was born to be something special. Now, you just got to figure out what that is and move forward with it. But I won't take too much time. I can sit here and talk about this quite a while, but.
Hey, Kendall, excuse me, Councilman Butler, I'm coming to you. Navigating peer pressure. Peer pressure, it's not always easy, but you got to make a decision on who you are as a person. Now, I had a crew, and it was a lot of things that we did together. Some things I know I had no business doing, but once I got to a point in my life, I'm like, you know what, I want to do better in life. So it got to a point to where, come on, Buck, let's go do such and such. Now I think I'm gonna stay at the crib today, bro, because I knew what kind of activities my partners was into, and even though I might not have been into that with them, I know I can get caught up with them. If I'm in the car with them, and it's in the car with us, we all gonna catch that charge. So as far as peer pressure, you got to make certain decisions for your future, for your life. You ain't got no bond money. Your mama, your daddy, and your grandma gonna have to come get you. So it's just important. I keep going back to this, how important it is right now at the age you guys are at right now to make the right decisions. And it don't matter about, oh, he a lame, he this, he that. Man, I don't care what you think about me, bro. Real spill, I ain't studying that. Do what's best. Because at the end of the day, you trying to be at your crib. You don't want to stress your mom out. And I stayed stressing my mama. My mama stayed having to come get me. And I can remember one time, I remember this like it was yesterday. I was 17 years old. I had been called a possession charge. But I'm 17, so I'm a juvenile. So they take me down there, Judge Ward, right there to the juvenile tank. And your parents can come get you. The officer was Derek Collins. And I'm sitting there, he on the phone with my mom. It's like 2 a.m. The curfew was 11. I ain't had no business outside anyway. And I heard my mom over the phone tell the officer, leave his ass down. He looked at me, I looked at him. He said, you heard what your mama said? I said, yeah, I heard what you said. Ask her again. Ms. Buckner, you sure? She said, man, I'm in my bed sleep. I'm not coming to get him. Leave him there. And two weeks in the juvenile home, 23-hour lockdown, 1 hour outside, and back in your cell for 2 weeks. And the only reason she came and got me is because I had to go to court, Judge Ward, and he released me, but I did like a year probation. The punishment was I had to do a research paper on the effects of cocaine on fetal development. It wasn't hard because I was smart student. But at the same time, these decisions, man, they are following. Because I was a juvenile, I didn't catch a felony, which would have trajected my life in a different direction had it was. It was a felony charge, but just not for a juvenile at the time. So that's why I'm telling y'all, the decisions you make is detrimental to your future, man. And I'm gonna pick it back on Tabar with as far as, because you men in here, we men not talking. They talk about women. How the wrong woman can get you caught up. Because I ended up catching an attempted murder charge behind a woman. Dealing with a woman. We in cahoots together. I'm an old man. We break up, but I'm still different. I got 34 at the time. This is the life I live. And she had a new old man. He shows up at the crib. He want to argue with me, him and 2 of his partners. And I'm saying, look, bro, I ain't fight by no broad, man. Because that just was never my demeanor. But it's three of them. They want to fight. They start to fight. I told the gunman, I had pistols with me. So I ended up shooting the dude. Shot him 4 times. Okay, I'm 21 years of age. I'm 20 at the time. Matter of fact, I'm 19 at the time. And I just had the possession charge at 17. Soon as I get off probation from the possession, I catch attempted murder charge. Good thing he survived. He gets out the hospital. I get bonded out. But it was the decisions I was making in my life, man. And that's what I'm telling y'all. I ended up beating the charge because the guy shot, he ended up catching a murder charge. So our lawyers got together, figured out what's best for his case is to drop the charge against me. That's the only way I got out of it. Look at God. See what I'm talking about? So, and all these was behind bad decisions. Because the woman, I ain't had no business even dealing with her because I knew she wasn't no good anyway. Hold it. We need to still. So going transition there, y'all going where I want y'all to go. Y'all didn't know I was a teacher up in Virginia. So Doc, I want you to talk about safe relationships. Safe relationships.
Shoot, but just said it all. Safe relationships. I don't know. I mean, I didn't grow up that dude that Buck's talking about. I was kind of guarded. Y'all heard me say I grew up in the house with all women, 5 older sisters and a mama. So I was guarded. Thank God for relationships with my brothers in the back, big brother right there. But one of the things that was constantly in my ear, and I think this day for you young men is a sponge filler. If I can call it that, get your sponge saturated and then squeeze it out to go and saturate the lives of somebody else. But the key takeaway from this is, if I could just speak Carlisle language, everybody don't mean you no good. And you need to evaluate your partners, your friendships, and also be a leader. There's Dr. Barkley, you know where I'm going with this, my favorite point. Live your creed, because there's somebody that's looking up to you, that sees you as an example. I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. I'd rather one walk with me than just to show the way. The eyes are better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. And the very best of teachers are the ones who live their creed. For to see good put into action is what everybody needs. I can soon learn to do it if you let me see it done. I can watch your hand in motion, but your tongue too fast may run. And the very best message that you deliver may be very fine and true, but I'd rather get my lessons by observing what you do. For I may misunderstand you and the fine advice you give, man, but there's no misunderstanding how you act and how you live. Somebody's looking at you as an example, and you need to live your creed.
All right. Austin, there, hit on positive masculinity and self-image from the standpoint of being in Jackson, Mississippi. I say again, positive masculinity and self-image by being from Jackson, Mississippi.
That is really significant because nowadays single parent homes are outrageous. And you young men don't have that positive male figure in your life. So one thing I would advise you to do, find an individual in your school or community that demonstrate that positivity that you desire as a person and latch on to them and soak them up for everything they have to offer. Throughout the day, y'all heard about different jobs and things that you can do in your career. What I would advise you to do, how many of you play sports? Basketball, football. What is the goal? To do what? To score a touchdown, right? That is your life. Your life is to score a touchdown. And you're on the offensive side of it. And you have people on the other side that are trying to stop. Those are your defenders. And you have hatred, you have enemies, you have environmental factors. All those factors influence you from scoring touchdowns. They influence you from being successful. So you have to find somebody in your life, in your community, in your school that can help you navigate the defense to score a touchdown. That touchdown may be a teacher, NFL player, a basketball player. Because in my 11th grade year in high school, I knew I was a good game warden. And by me knowing that, I could not have a criminal record. So what that did, it prevented me from going to certain places. So once you find out what you want to be in life, use that to navigate. I was afraid to go to clubs. I went to free lunch one time at Hines. Stayed in the parking lot and almost died. I was ready to go. And I have never been to a club since then. So you have to think about what you want to be and backtrack so you can learn how to navigate.
I didn't get a chance to speak to y'all today. I want y'all to get a crick in your neck. I'm Anthony Blakely by way of North Gulfport, born in the quarters, through William Bell's, 6 years in North Gulfport, 6 years in William Bell, 6 years in Philadelphia. And I ended up getting a scholarship to play professional basketball. I didn't know it. I jumped through college, did the college thing. But if I had one thing to say without going through accolades, who I am, what it's all about, walk these streets, understand these guys done a great job. Our state representatives and our elected officials and our dignitaries in our community, men of respect, you got to understand why we're here and supporting you guys. So the thing about it, it's a why. It's a why there. So and we can all answer this as far as adults, man, if I was able to give you some pivotal information that would change the course of your life, would you be willing to hear it? Because we can sit up here and say, man, I wish I would have knew that then. Ask any one of these guys, man, I wish I would have knew that then. So what we're doing is giving you pertinent information that will change the course if you're willing to hear it and accept it. So you have to ask this question why, and I asked it at 16. And it was a different era then. Back in the 80s, it was a different era at Gulfport High Central Junior High. So why do we do the things we do? And why do we treat each other like that? That stuck with me for my life. And that took me in the field of psychology, in the study of, that's the science of the soul. You know what I'm saying? Or why we do the thing intrinsically of who we are. The guy did a fantastic job of bringing that. So I would say, pivotal information, what I would have to say, hey guys, stand up for me. Stand up for a minute, please. Just stand up for 1 minute, please. Please stand up for a minute. Because I just need to get your attention. You're about to sit back. You have to ask the question why, because in your reticular activation system in your mind where you hold value, your mind is going to actually search it out whether you like it or not. So if you ask why something is, what it is about yourself, why people treat me like this, then you got to go look in the mirror because nobody's going to tell you. You got to look inside. Everything that's built for you to do is inside of you. So you got to take a look inside and see what you built on. And then pay attention and grab one of these leaders. So I appreciate you guys listening. That was a short because I know we got to close. But my name is Anthony Blake. I'm a part of this team right here. If you guys can use me, I'm here to support you guys. I appreciate you.
Well.
Hey, y'all sit down. Nick, you talk about social justice and activism. You can touch on that.
Hey everybody, my name is Nick Eden. I'm political.
1 minute.
1 minute, you got it. I have been doing this work for well over close to 20 years. I've had the opportunity to travel all over this great nation. I've been to 3 countries outside the US, and it's all been under the lens of social justice. I will say this much. You don't get this without social justice. You don't get this diverse collection of men who have had experiences that can pour into you knowledge, experience, advice. Without it, you don't get the freedoms that you all have today that we sometimes take advantage of without social justice. I want you to realize we're not too far away from a time where you would not have these rights. I want you to realize that there are people in your family, people in your neighborhoods that were born without their full rights as Americans. When you look at the Civil Rights Act, of 1964, Fair Housing Act of 1968, Higher Education Act of 1965, Voting Rights Act of 1965. These were the pieces of legislation that gave women and minorities their full rights as Americans. That last piece, April 7th, 1968, a week after King died. That was 12 years before I was born. My mother was born without her full rights as an American. Our parents were born without their full rights. Some of y'all, your grandparents. So I want you to understand that. I always reference Charles Dutton. We know Charles Dutton, Rock, you know, but in the movie Minister Society. And I want you to take this with you. This is why social justice is so important, and why outside of your career, you have to fight. Shout out to Bobby. Shout out to One Voice. Charles Dutton said in the movie Minister Society, being a black man in America is not easy. The hunt is on, and you're the prey. I want you to think about that. But it's not just, it affects black women, it affects brown women, it affects people who are from lower income areas. It affects poor people. It affects us all. So when you think about social justice, when you think about, you're on Facebook and you see Jeff and he's somewhere and he's unloading food to give to people in areas, when you see him in the legislative sessions fighting for rights for us, when you see people like Bobby out registering people to vote, think about that. That social justice piece allows you to have the type of life that you want, desire, and deserve.
All right, hold it. We can't go too deep. Let's hold it. Good evening, everyone. How are you? My name is Eric Baker. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. And I grew up behind Jackson State. I can relate to one of y'all up there. Okay, I'm 54 years old. I have 2 daughters. I've been a fireman for over 20 years. And I got certification. The snake skin. I'm a diver. You never would thought. Pulled up dead bodies. Well, recovered. Young men, I tried the sheriff department thing at one time. My mental wasn't right for that. Okay, so I went into saving people. Like I said, I didn't have a direction coming up. But I was in your shoes coming up. I knew the worst of the worst in Jackson. Okay? But God led me to places where I never thought I'd be. I've traveled overseas. I've lived in Phoenix and places like that. I tried to play pro football thing. Wasn't my thing. I was really good at that. But firemen, the fire service saved me. Came down and retired 4 months ago. Young men, open yourselves up to everything. As Doc said, sponge, soak it up, put it on someone, and fill yourself back up with other things as that. Because like the AI thing, you're gonna need electrician. AI use a lot of electricity. AI needs somebody to fix it. AI need air conditioning because it uses a lot of heat. It generates a lot of heat. So there's a lot of things that we need to just open up as young men, because I didn't have, my grandmother raised me. And I had a lot of strong people around me. But just open yourselves up, and these communities, believe me, we can learn a lot from each other. That's why we all here, right? To teach y'all. Learn, please learn. I beg you. Thank you. Y'all get y'all questions together, because we're gonna come to y'all now. I'm talking about the youth.
How you guys doing? I'm Leonard Bennett. I grew up right here in Galveston Point. We moved here in 1972. So I've been in Galveston Point for 55 years. October 10th. And some of you kids I see walking halls, and I stay long. I see some of you kids walking halls in school because I'm always in the school. Program called Sip Select Basketball, the mentoring program. And I just want to say this: if you see me in the school, your school, grab me. And if you have any questions about where you need to be, go in life, we definitely can find your direction in life. because I'm always in the schools, Central, Bellevue, and Gulfport High. And if you want to talk to these guys, I know every last one of them, even the police officer. I'll tell you how I met him. I said, stop me on the interstate, on the beach. I'm flying, headed to a meeting. Said, what meeting you going to? So I'm going to see the district attorney. He let me go. He'll give it first. So, I know a lot of you guys, there's a lot of stuff to take in right now. But again, if you see me walking the halls, grab me. We'll get you in the right direction. And I'll make sure all these guys that sitting up here saying what they're going to do and what they'll do to help you, I definitely hold them accountable. Thank you.
All right, real quick, I know y'all got some questions for anyone in the panel or anyone in this room. Who want to go first? All right, see, I'm from the Army, so we go by voluntold. You go first.
What was something that helped you stay focused throughout, like, growing up?
I'll answer. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried to get in trouble, but my mom was crazy. And any one of y'all that went to the Blue School and know Miss Eden, y'all know my mom is crazy. I couldn't get in trouble in Gaston Point because they said, no, that's Elaine's son. Or they said, that's Thelma LB's grandson. Boy, go home. That's what kept me focused. It's the best thing that could have happened to me. Because a lot of my friends that I grew up with, they're in prison. One of my very best friends just got convicted. He's got to do 15 years, day for day. He'll be 60 when he gets out of prison. So it worked for me.
How do you deal with anger management?
How do you deal with anger management?
That's a good question.
I have not figured that out yet. I'm past Mike.
All of these gentlemen up here are high performance individuals, and I can tell you, can you imagine what he has to go through dealing with keeping his anger in check? Or if some of my politicians here keeping that anger in check. Mastering your anger is one of the most important things you can have as a young man, as an older man, as a man in general. What I do, I've got to separate myself. I've got to separate myself. I've got to breathe. I've got to think about, okay, all right, let me shake this off. I've got to think about the consequences. If I was to go off right now, what would happen? All right, I don't want that to happen. So, okay. So what am I going to do? What should I do? And use someone else that you respect as a point of reference. You might be upset. You don't know what to do. What would my grandfather do? What would my teacher do? What would my best friend do? You've got to have somebody as a point of reference today that would hold you accountable to say, okay, let me chill out, because I wouldn't want my grand being upset with me. I wouldn't want Mr. Hullum to having me called to the school. So how you manage your anger is very important.
What inspires you? What inspires you?
What inspires me? What inspires me is young people. Yeah, y'all. That's the whole reason why we up here.
Right. We leave now. But we need y'all. Right.
That was the first thing I said when I came up here. We need y'all.
We were able to survive. That's what we're sharing.
What gave y'all motivation to like turn y'all lives around?
What gave you motivation to turn your life around?
No, it ain't. It's I'm gonna tell you what. I was watching. Jail never feared me. I saw people. Family was in and out of prison all the time. I'm watching people die. I'm watching in and out of prison. And honestly, I was just in my backyard one day, and a voice spoke to me. And he said, "Try me." He said, "Kendall, you've tried everything there is to try." He said, "Try me."
Yeah.
And I, at the time, the type of young man I was, I got smart with it. I said, "Who are you?" He said, "My name is Jesus, Jesus Christ. Try me." And I said, "Okay, Lord, I tell you what, I'm going to try you." I say, "But if you ever let me down, I'll never deal with you again." And that's the thing about the Lord. He